Good morning, class 10. So, in the previous class, we have started a new chapter, that is Long Walk to Freedom, Nelson Mandela. So, this story is an autobiography of Nelson Mandela, as I told you yesterday, and who was the former South African president. And this chapter is the extracts from the Long Walk to Freedom book, his biography, and it includes the description of the inauguration ceremony and the citations from the speech and about his journey out to being a freedom fighter. So, in South Africa, a brutal practice named apartheid was very popular in those days, and it refers to the discrimination between people on the basis of their race and color. And it was one of the most brutal societies in which dark skinned people were deprived of their basic rights. And here, this lesson gives us an overview of the struggles of Mandela for making the society with no discrimination on the basis of their color, caste, race, age, or gender. Right? So, in the previous class, I have explained the first two pages. Okay, that means page number 17 and 18. Today, we will discuss page number 19, 20. So, here in page number 19, a few moments later, we will lifted our eyes as a spectacular array of South African jets, helicopters, and troop carriers rode in perfect formation over the Union building. And it was only a display of pinpoint precision and military force, but a demonstration of the military loyalty to the democracy. To a new government that had been freely and fairly elected, and only moments before the highest generals of the South African Defence Force and Police and their chests bedecked with ribbons and medals from days gone by, saluted me and pledged their loyalty. I was not unmindful of the fact that not so many years before they would not have saluted but arrested me. And finally, a sovereign of Impala jets left a smoke trail of the black, red, green, blue, and gold of the new South African flag. So, here the narrator, that means the newly elected president, addresses to the audience an impressive arrangement of fighter jets, helicopters, and soldiers transporter raised everyone's heads up in the sky, and it symbolized the perfection as well as military respect and obedience towards the free country. And the high commanders who have won medals for the bravery are saluted and promised their loyalty. And Mandela mentions that he was well aware that these commanders who are now saluting him would have arrested him under the previous rule as during the oppressive white supremacy. And he was considered to be a criminal in that time. Now, then he described the air show finally ended by making of the South African flag in the sky from the smoke beneath the jets. Okay. The day symbolized for me by a playing of our national anthems and the vision of whites singing Nkosi Sikhel, I Africa, and black singing Die Stem, the old anthem of the Republic. Although that day neither group knew the lyrics of the anthem they once despised, they would soon know the words by heart. So the author remembers the day as the playing of two national anthems of the country, and one of the whites and the other that of the blacks. And on that day, no one knew the wording of the anthem of the black, but Mandela was confident that everyone would soon learn this anthem that they had once hated. Right? On the day of the inauguration, I was overwhelmed with the sense of history in the first decade of the 20th century, a few years after the bitter Boer War and before my own birth. The white-skinned peoples of South Africa patched up their differences and erected a system of racial domination against the dark-skinned people of their own land. And the structure they created formed the basis of one of the harshest, most inhumane societies the world has ever known. Now, in the last decade of the 20th century and my own 8th decade as a man, that system had been overturned forever and replaced by one that recognized the rights and freedom of all people regardless for their color of their skin. So here on the day of the inauguration ceremony, the author was remembering the days of past when his whole system of apartheid emerged, and it resulted the inequality and inferior treatment of dark-skinned people, and they were deprived of their basic fundamental rights, and as a result one of the world's most brutal and inhuman society was born, and this began even before he was born, that Mandela was born. And this system created an atmosphere of extreme cruelty and injustice for a particular part of the community. And when he is the 8th decade as a man, he along with countless others have changed his entire system that treats human as human irrespective of their color, caste, gender or age. That day had come about through the unimaginable sacrifices of thousands of my people whose suffering and courage can never be counted or repaid. I felt that as I have on so many other days, that was simply the sum of all those African patriots who had gone before me. And that long and noble line ended and now began again with me. And I was pained that I was not able to think them, and that were not able to see what their sacrifices had wrought. Wrought means, achieved. It's an old-fashioned word. So this equal and free country was a result of sacrifices of countless other men and women who have fought all their lives for that day, for this inauguration day. And the author wishes if we could thank them all, but unfortunately they didn't live to see the result of their courage. And Nelson Mandela gathered his courage and power from all of these people, and he wishes to make them proud. Right? Now, the policy of apartheid created a deep and lasting wound in my country and my people, and all of us will spend many years, if not generations, recovering from that profound hurt. But the decades of the oppression and brutality had another unintended effect, and that was that it produced the Oliver Tambo. Here, Oliver Tambo picture. You can find Oliver Tambo, the Walter Sisulu's, the Chief Luthulis, Yusuf Dados, the Bram Fishers, the Robert Sobukis of our time, men of such extraordinary courage, wisdom, generosity that their like may never be known again. Perhaps it requires such depths of oppression to create such heights of character, and my country is rich in the minerals and gems that lie beneath its soil. But I have always known that its greatest wealth is its people, and finer and truer than the purest diamonds. So the oppression policies scared many people, right? And it will take long time for them to move on. And the author, that means Mandela, mentioned that this hard time had its negative impacts, but it also exposed a lot of strong and courageous men who stood up and raised their voice, like Yusuf Dado, Bram Fisher, Oliver Tambo, Walter Sisulu, right, Robert Sobuki, and it required that the level of unjust treatment to produce such great heroes. And South Africa, and in South Africa he says that South Africa is rich in minerals and gems, but its greatest strength lies in its people. Okay, in his speech he clearly mentioned, Mandela clearly mentioned that South Africa is rich in minerals and gems, but its greatest strength lies in the people, right? It is from these comrades in the struggle that I learned the meaning of the courage. Time and again, I have seen men and women risk and give their lives for an idea. I have seen men stand up to attacks that torture without breaking, showing a strength and resilience that defies the imaginations. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. And the brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. Right? It's a philosophical term. Right? It's a very important line, that the brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers the fear. One who win, wins the fear. Right. So here Mandela gained his strength to stand against the wrong from all the great nationalists he mentioned above, and they have been risked their lives for freedom and tolerated ill treatment, but they never stopped fighting. He learned that courage did not mean the absence of fear, but the ability to overcome fear. And he says that the man who overcomes his fear is called brave, right? No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion. People must learn to hate, but and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love, for love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. Even in the grimmest times in prison, when my comrades and I were pushed to our limits, I would see a glimmer of humanity in one of the gods, perhaps just for a second, but it was enough to, you know, reassure me and keep me going. And man's goodness is a flame that can be hidden but never extinguished. So here he told that one is taught by its society to hate humans because of their skin, color, age, gender, and religion. Okay. No one is, according to him, no one is born with hatred. And the author's idea is that if people can be taught hatred, they can be taught love and brotherhood. And in their most testing times in prison, when they were being treated brutally, Mandela would see a pinch of humanity and kindness is one of the guards, and that was enough for him to keep him going, right? And he believes that goodness in human being can be suppressed but never eliminated. So let's stop here. The next day we'll complete the chapter. So in the PDF I have explained the chapter. Okay. And para wise, go through it, and I have given some textual questions answers written. So like, where did the ceremonies take place? Can you name any public buildings in India that were made of sandstone? These are textual questions. Then can you say how Chain May is an autumn day in South Africa? Please go through the answers. Okay. And I have given two questions as homework. Please go through the text, page number 19, 20 and 21, and then write the answer of these two questions. Question number 1. How was that sight a rainbow gathering of different colors and nations? And question number 2. What was born out of the experience of an extraordinary human disaster? Why should humanity be proud of it? Right? Try to write the answer of these questions. Thank you, class.